Thanks for coming on to see a professional comedian and a wannabe chancer. This is normal thing to do, isn't it? So you've paid money to see amateur comedy from academics. You must have high standards. My name is Alex Connor. I'm a research scientist and a lecturer at the University of Birmingham Medical School. What I really am is a fraudulent show-off. Fraudulent because all scientists are fraudulent, we don't know what we're doing. And a show-off because in 2014 I agreed to do this. Pretty sure that 2015 was so far away, it would never actually happen. It seems I don't fully understand how time works. I thought I could get sciencey on you and tell you that time is fluid in our multiverse. Unfortunately, that would not have stopped me being sick in the toilets this morning. And googling YouTube videos of Andy White hoping he was shit. So I run a research lab. I run a research lab. And we study proteins. I've been asked to tell you jokes about what we do, so I guess I should give you some context. I'm interested in proteins. They're in cells. I get doing this, like a donut-shaped protein. Imagine a donut. And let water in and out of the body, that's important. But if it was donut-sized, just imagine for a minute, if the protein was donut-sized, it would fit into a cell. The cell would be 5 times bigger than this entire theatre, not just the stage, but the entire theatre. That is massive, and you have, in your human body, 50 trillion cells, not you. You've got a lot of this. So these are tiny proteins, but perfectly formed, like you, again. But when proteins go bad, and that's what I'm interested in, say you have a major impact to your skull, like a road traffic accident, or others with a stroke, or if you have an accident like Michael Schumacher's with the skiing, then these go wrong and water floods into the brain and that causes brain swelling. And this leads to some serious mental or physical disabilities, and it's often fatal. So that's comedy gold then. Although it shouldn't be dull for me to make jokes about these things, I write a lot of grant applications or pre-rejections. Scientists in the audience. And to a man, the reviewers come back and they say, your research, is this a joke? Yeah, I like that one, don't you? The worst bit is I'm trying to get money to deal with a problem that comes from having a major impact to the head. And they always, if you've ever written a grant application, you'll know, they ask the same question. What do you see as the major impact of your research? So, in my case, hitting a tree at 30 miles an hour and drunkenly checking Grindr. I mean Tinder! Tinder. My wife's in the audience, it's Tinder. It's Tinder, actually. So, professional scientists, very professional. Any other scientists? Do we have any metabolomics experts in the audience? You're being posh, really, I mean, it's biology, isn't it? My physics first, do you know what they call biology? They call biology physics for girls. I'm not entirely sure they know what girls is. And they're not sure if it's Xbox compatible. So I'm also a biologist. And do you know why I did biology? Apart from girls. Same reason everybody did it. I failed my physics A-level. So I am a professional scientist, and there's nothing broader than the disparity between the real scientist and the public perception of what a scientist is. It's not like in the movies. It's really not. We're not a good-looking bunch, and we do not dress well normally. I borrow these clothes. There is a website with pictures, and it's called Professor dancer or tramp. I'm on it. The homeless post on years. Wasn't impressive. I blame the media for this. I blame them for everything, actually. But in this case, I blame them for being too kind. See, there's three types of scientists. There's your TV fictional scientist. There's your TV presenter scientist. Then there's your real scientist. I'm firmly in category C, and that's important. TV fictional scientist, CSI Miami. Science, CSI Miami. I'm waiting for CSI Birmingham. That would fuck their machines up, wouldn't it? CSI Northfield. CSI Miami. Amazing science, forensic science. They work in a lab all day, but they need to turn on the Large Hadron Collider. They need to have a look through the Hubble telescope, and I imagine you can do this. They bloody will have a go, and you know what? They bloody succeed. Do you know why they succeed? Because they're bloody scientists. Well, it's not really like that. We're not quite so adaptable. If somebody changes my PC to a Mac, I cannot turn it on. Genuinely, last week, somebody changed the code to my laboratory door. I spent 3 days in my pants watching Netflix. I didn't really watch X-Files that much, but I don't remember Mulder and Scully sat watching back-to-back Gogglebox marathons when they were supposed to be shaving a Yeti. I don't know what they did. Research, that's another thing we're supposed to be good at. So CSI Miami, forensic science are amazing. I watched them do PCR, polymerase chain reaction. It's a DNA technique, helps you catch a murder, and they had a go and they bloody succeeded. Bloody scientists. Well, I've tried that, and I'm a DNA expert of sorts. I tried that. 3 months, nothing. I tried everything. I even have a critically acclaimed PCR dance. I won't be doing it. Even that didn't work. And then, after 3 months, I realised I was using the wrong water. The wrong water. I say realised. I mean, of course, somebody told me. And by wrong water, I mean one of the other chemicals I wasn't paying attention. Attention to detail, that's another thing we're supposed to be good at. But by God, at least they're fictional. Do you know what's worse? Bloody TV presenter scientists. Bloody Brian Cox. Johnny Ball. I love Johnny Ball. Remember Johnny Ball? Oh, I loved him. That's why I became a lecturer. Johnny Ball. It's not quite like that. We can't remember anything in the real world. And what's worse, it's a real sign of getting old. When I was lecturing, I referenced Johnny Ball and people go, Johnny Ball, Johnny Ball. And then after a few years, I noticed they were going, Johnny who? Zoe Ball's dad. They go, oh, Zoe Ball's dad. Do you know what it is now? Zoe who? Zoe who? Not that other thing. Zoe Ball was an old lady who used to get drunk on the radio. But we don't need him anymore, do we? We've got Brian Cox. Bloody Brian. I hate Brian Cox. Do you know why I hate him? Because he's brilliant, isn't he? He's brilliant at everything. I don't fully understand his programme, if I'm honest, but I still watch him like this. And the world is wonderful, and everything's amazing, and there are ants on the moon as big as helicopters. I haven't been paying attention to that. The reason I hate him is because he's a bloody know-it-all, which is a little bit hypocritical because that's his actual job. So I shouldn't really hate him for knowing it all. It's also my actual job, and that's why I really hate him, isn't it? Because what he's done is he's done my career on Fast Forward and with more sex groupies and with fewer disciplinary hearings. That's the problem. Cox and the Ball, isn't it? Ball and Cox. Hang on a minute. Maybe if I change my name to Alex Knob, I'd get me a BBC 4 television show. And I wouldn't have to clean the graffiti off my office door. I I think the theme of this was sight and sound, and I haven't at all, so I should tell you about sight and sound. What a lot of what I do is give lectures to medical students and scientists. And there's nothing really like a lecture for sight and sound, is there? Especially at the University of Birmingham. Although in our case, the sight is of a man badly dressed, pale, stuck in 1973, and the sound is a kind of monotonous hum of useless information you will never need in the real world. The other sound, of course, is 163 20-year-olds pretending they're not checking Instagram. Of course we know you're doing it. We're doing it too. These aren't notes on my laptop. I'm watching a squirrel humping a rabbit. So I'm going to leave you with the thought that I leave all my future medics, future scientists and world leaders at the end of a real lecture. And that is, I finished early, the bar's open.